Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be part of my pregnancy journey journal thing. Today's video is going to be what to bring in your hospital bag. So I googled and I asked friends all kinds of things for us to take to the hospital. And this is the checklist that it gave. The majority of it ended up being for like mom: hair bow, toothbrush and toothpaste, a brush, deodorant, shampoo and conditioner, panties, pajamas, cozy socks, chargers with long cords or extension cords, and our baby book, which was coming anyways. What I ended up bringing for me was I did end up bringing 2 pairs of panties because I didn't know what I was going to be wearing. We brought our phone charger and we bought a box and phone charger at Walmart, and thankfully they just ended up sitting over there by Josh on his little couch on the postpartum room and labor and delivery. So it wasn't too bad. Because I didn't have any service, you guys. I don't know what happened to my phone, but I did not have any kind of service. So it really didn't bother me. I was just trying to use mine for pictures. So, to me bringing my own phone from all the way from labor all the way to coming home, it's kind of useless because I didn't have any service inside the hospital. My husband did, and we're both on Straight Talk, which is why I did not understand why I had no service. And I kept trying to connect to the Wi-Fi. I asked the nurses. They told me everything, gave me the password and which one was I could actually use, and I still could not get no service. So I'm just going to say it was my phone. Probably was. I recently upgraded to a Motorola Moto G. I believe it's a 2021 phone, but it has 128 gigabyte internal storage, I believe. So that's great. I was using a Galaxy S8. It's probably way old, but it got the job done when I needed it. But I brought that. I brought one bra. And then we went to Walmart because this literally happened. Like, we woke up, and I wish I would have done a day in the life, but we woke up, went to go to get our monitors, because I was almost 42. That following Friday would have actually been 42 full weeks of being pregnant. We got monitored. She let us go. We went and grabbed some lunch. We just stopped by the hospital cafe thing, and we just both got us some coffee and muffins. I think he got a scone, whatever how you pronounce it. But it's basically, what it tastes like is a biscuit with like fruit and like syrup on it, like the fruit juice and syrup juice on it. It tastes almost like a muffin, but it's a little bit off. It's just one of those things you just have to try to see if you would like it. And then after we ate lunch, I think we sat in the car for like 20 minutes because we lived way too far just to come back and keep going. So we went to go get monitored around 10. My appointment was at 2. So at 1:45 we walked over from the hospital over to the clinic because we used Aniston OBGYN again. And we went over there and we waited for all my stuff, and it was long. Like, it was a long day. I really wish I would have took y'all with us on that because it was such a long day. The monitoring went by so slow, you guys. It was crazy. And then we kept trying to go to sleep on the way, like waiting in our little waiting window. And then we went over to the clinic, and then it took a long time before we could actually go back there. And I felt like I knew this was going to be the last time because my doctor had already told me, hey, after 42, I'm just going to have to keep guiding you along to either get induced or you're just going to have to do some natural remedies to break your water. You know, you're going to have to do something because this baby has to come out now. Because the longer he stays in there now, it's just going to make things worse for him, the delivery, and could lead up to me as well. So her nurse told me you might as well start considering inducing probably sometime next week. And then my doctor walked in and she said, well, you're going to have to try to let me talk you into getting induced. Because I was completely against getting induced. I at least wanted to get to 42. And if I got to 42, I wanted to make it to 43. But I almost made it. This was on a Wednesday. He was born December 29th, that Thursday. So this was the 28th. And she told me, or she asked me, and I said, well, if you got any open availabilities tonight, we can just go ahead and do it tonight while we're already up here. We don't have to go home. We got all of our stuff. We're ready. Because they basically told us to anyways, especially with the monitoring, because the hospital could tell us that we need to stay and get induced or something can happen. So we were already ready. And then we got over there. She told us that, and I cried, you guys. Like, it was funny, but it was so sad. Like, I walked out of there and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to induce my baby. I really didn't. Like, I wanted him to come when he felt he was ready. But I felt like he wasn't going to come in time. And then that Friday, she would have been able to induce me, but that Saturday, I would have had to use the on-call doctor because she was going to be off, and it was like New Year's. So it was a lot to take in at one time. It really was. And it was emotional for me. And then my husband couldn't go back there, so he couldn't make the decision with me. So I had to make this choice all by myself. I had to put on my big girl pants and just, yeah. So I walked out, and the little cards that say, like, your visit next time or whatever. And it was in February, and I gave it to my husband, and I was hoping he would, put the pieces together. He's like, oh my God, they're not going to see you till February? And that was so funny to me, but I busted out crying because I was so sad that I had to get induced. And I was like, no, baby, we have to get induced tonight. He was like, what? I was like, yes, we have to get induced tonight. So the doctor told me to go ahead, do some last minute shopping, go eat somewhere, do all that good stuff before you have to basically go to a mini prison visit. So we went to Walmart and we stayed in there till probably around 6. I didn't have to be back at the hospital till 8, but I think we had to come in by 7. Because then they wouldn't let in visitors. I don't know. We might have could have went to the ER, but we actually ended up getting there around 7:30. No, we got there around 6:30. So we left there. We went to Walmart, grabbed a few things, then we went to go eat. We ate at Arby's, and I was still so sad. Like, it was so unreal that I was having to do this, and that I was fixing to have a baby, like, either sometime tonight if it hurried up, or in the morning. Sometime tomorrow, at least by tomorrow. So, yeah. And then we went back to Walmart to grab a few more things just to make sure we had everything that we needed, because we didn't have a baby shower. We didn't have any of that. I was going to have a after shower or a receiving shower. We still haven't done that yet. Probably won't, but that's okay. So, we did that. By the way, you guys, he is 3 months and 2 days old today. 3 months and 2 days postpartum, so it's been rough, to say the least. It's been a little rough. Mixed feelings, postpartum kicking in, all that good stuff. Like, it's been rough. And then trying to adjust to Noah's schedule, and then trying to incorporate our own life schedule. It's been rough. And, we still haven't moved out yet. We're still living with my mom. Josh is the only one working right now because we don't have a car. It's kind of hard to get both of us back and forth. Plus, also have to work around a babysitter right now. If we both were working and then had a babysitter on top of that, that's just, I know it's doable, but it's not really possible for us and our finances right now. So, yeah, it's been a little rough. But today's video is all about what to pack, or what we packed. And then I got the bra at Walmart the second time we went. We had bought our fuzzy socks at Dollar Tree. I want to say that November or December. Because I was supposed to be due December 17th. Yeah, that's when they moved my second one. My first one was December 13th. My second one was December 17th. He ended up being born December 29th. And then we used the reusable bags, like from Walmart, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, wherever you can get one of those, like, little grocery bags. We used that for dirty clothes, even though the hospital had some. I just didn't want to carry around too many hospital bags or have to stuff one overly too big and not have enough room. So it was, it was just kind of trying to be on the safe side and trying to make sure we won't be dropping everything, going from room to room, and then coming home. And then I brought 2 reusable bags, one for dirty clothes and one just for extras from the hospital in case our diaper bag wouldn't fit. And then our baby book, of course, went, and that had everything, like all of my appointments, all the medications she put me in, all that good stuff, all the ultrasounds, so our Medicaid information and everything like that. We did bring toothbrush and toothpaste, deodorant. I brought my conditioner because my doctor told me that it was basically like a hotel. They would have like a mix of shampoo and conditioner. Probably, she thought honestly they would probably have either a bar of soap or a mixture of 3 in 1. But they ended up having a bar and 2 in 1. So I ended up bringing my conditioner because, you guys, my hair is horrible to just use shampoo. Like, there's no way I'm fixing to be getting tangles and all that good stuff. And let me tell you, after labor, I was so disgusted with myself because I had not been able to brush my teeth. I brushed my teeth that night we checked in, but that whole day of labor, I did not get to get a shower. I did not get to brush my teeth. And then we went to postpartum. He was born around 2, and we didn't get to postpartum until like around 4 or 5 because we had to stay in there for 2 hours. But he was born at 2:39. So I was disgusted with myself. And then when we got to postpartum, I could feel half of my body because I did end up going with epidural. I was not going to, but I did end up going through with epidural. And I kept telling them, like, I can feel half my body. I promise I can get up. I'm just sore. But I was still a little numb. And they said, well, I'm sorry, we cannot unconnect you to this catheter until you are 100% good to go, all on your own without any extra help. So I had to sit in the bed, had to sit in my clothes, my gown, my nasty self. Really. Like, labor and delivery, I had to put one of those disposable diapers on me with a pad, and I felt so bad that they had to do that because I could not do it. Like, I was so disgusted with myself. It was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, if you're one of those clean people, it was horrible. It really was. And then we had a tornado warning, so then I couldn't even... The minute I was trying to get out of the bed and I just got completely undone, I was waiting on her to get my catheter out. And they called for, like, a tornado warning. So we had to go into the hallway, and I'm just sitting here like, I just want to shower. I'm pretty sure I stink. I smell awful. I had not put on any deodorant, and I sweated. I was awful. I was just... Ugh, like, I was disgusted with myself to the max, and then I had to mingle with all these people, and I knew, like, one of the other families in postpartum, so it was a terrible situation, to say the least. It really was, for my hygiene, basically. I did end up bringing one scrunchie, and my brush and chapstick, and our deodorant. So that was what I brought for me, and then like our toiletries. For baby, they said a going home outfit, some socks, mittens, receiving blanket, and burp cloths, hat, blanket, diapers for ride home, and bottle for ride home. We actually did bring a few diapers. We brought 2 newborn diapers with us, and then I brought 1 bottle with us because I wanted to I wanted to pump, but I ended up not being able to. And then I was going to try and breastfeed on my own, and then he wasn't taking to it, and he was hungry, so I just had to give him the bottle. And I know I could have worked with the lactation nurse, but at the same time, I feel like it was a sign for me not to, because he actually had to stay for 3 extra days in the hospital, and we couldn't room in with him. Like, our discharge date, he had to stay. So, I'm kind of thankful that I hadn't have started to breastfeed him, and then him get completely taken away from it, and then not want to take the bottle, which they did end up having to put a tube in him anyway. So, I don't know how that would have worked out. I really don't. And then I know my boobs got swole the day we got to bring him home, which was that Sunday of New Year's, like the first Sunday of January, is when we got to bring him home at like 6 something. That's when my boobs were really starting to get swole. And then the next day they leaked, and then I tried to latch him on. He wasn't taking it. Tried the next day, I was still leaking. He wasn't taking it. And then the next day after that, I even tried just to make sure that there was milk in there. Like, I tried to get my husband to nurse on me just to make sure that I had something in there. That way he's just not sucking for nothing. So I still couldn't get it. And then the third day, it was gone. Like, I was already dried up. So my milk did not last a long time at all. And I did try as we got home. I probably should have tried at the hospital. But like I said, I'm kind of thankful because he had to stay, and I don't really know exactly how he would have took that, especially with the tube, and then with the formula feeding, all that good stuff. So sadly he's on formula, but thankfully I feel like it was a blessing in disguise. But I really wish I could have pumped, but we didn't have the finances to pump, so that's that. But for him, I ended up bringing a passy and a passy leash. He did not take to it. 3 pairs of newborn pants. He did end up going through all of those, especially when he had to start staying. And then when we started, my second day, I started getting out of the bed the whole entire time. The second and the third day, I was able to get up and out. So I got him, I dressed him, and all that good stuff. We brought 1 hat, some baby powder that was cornstarch based, and it was not Johnson & Johnson. It was Walmart's Equate brand. It wasn't even over there by the baby section. It was over there with like the women's diapers and pads. So I did bring that, but they told me not to use it because it could go up their nose and stop them up. And then we brought 3 newborn onesies, a flannel blanket, like one of those receiving blankets, but it was a flannel. It was a little bit more thicker. 1 0 to 3 onesie, 3 pairs of socks, a pack of wipes, which did come in handy. Like, we brought a pack of wipes. He had to stay. And so when we came home to get extra clothes, we actually had to take another pack of wipes up there. So the hospital did use them. And then I honestly used their wipes as our burp cloths, because I did not bring burp cloths, so I just used their wipes as our burp cloths, and they used our wipes for wipes, so it just worked out. I brought an empty 5-ounce bottle. I brought a fleece blanket, and I'm thankful I did, because the night that we brought him home, there was a snowstorm that was coming our way. We had just missed it. Had we had to stay there another hour, we probably would have got stuck on the road, in all honesty. I brought 4 bibs. He went through like 2 of them, 2 newborn diapers he did not use. We brought his car seat, and we went ahead as soon as we found out we was pregnant, before we got any kind. As soon as I took the at-home test, we went and bought an all-in-one safety first grow and go car seat, and then an all-in-one. It was like a crib to a full-size bed. Like, that was the first purchase we ever bought as soon as I passed the pregnancy test at home. Way before I set up anything. I just went ahead and got that because I did not want everybody to tell us that we need to use this brand. No, I was going to use what we were going to use, and I got paid, and that's the first thing we went and done, in all honesty. Then I brought a 4-pack of mittens. We went and got those from Walmart. the day, like our inducing night, and then I brought one newborn sleeper. I didn't use his diapers. His clothes mostly got used just because of the stay. We didn't use the bottle. We did ask for extra wipes, diapers, bottles, and I told the nurse, I said, I don't know exactly, like I know it's coming, but I don't know how far, especially for us to get there, because we live like 45 minutes away, almost an hour from our hospital, so we had a long drive, and then plus with a newborn, and all the drunks were out that night, and then a snowstorm on top of that. It was hectic coming home, so I just went ahead and asked. So I was like, can we just have like probably 7 extra bottles to go home? She was like, yeah, sure. So I was thankful of that. I didn't use the baby powder. We put the passy in the lanyard like my husband dressed Noah. One time I was in the bathroom. He got a picture of him with his passy and lanyard in and like a full outfit. But he did not take to it after the picture was made. So, yeah. And then a checklist for Dad. Charger, toothbrush and toothpaste, deodorant, pillow, fresh clothes, PJs, chapstick, and shampoo and conditioner. And what I packed for him was he has male leggings, so I just packed him those. 2 pairs of shorts, his 2 different like comfy shirts. I actually ended up bringing my cat gown. I just seen that on here. I had like a nightgown that I got for Mother's Day last year while I was pregnant. And I was just like, you know what, it's just going to go to the hospital. I don't think I wore it to the hospital at all, but I did wear it at the hotel. My 4X leggings that I brought from the thrift store, I did end up wearing those the last day that we were in the hospital. Like our discharge date, but he had to stay. I ended up wearing those, and those were perfect, especially with the pads and the diaper changing, so that was perfect for me. Then I brought a 4X shirt that I had. It said my first Mother's Day on it. Really, the only thing that we didn't need was I didn't need my panties, but he needed his underwear. And I really didn't need, I think I packed 2 bras. I packed a bra, and then I bought a bra from Walmart, and I only ended up wearing the one from Walmart until we got to the hotel, and then they had a washer and dryer, so we just reused our clothes. We went ahead and brought all the hospital stuff home with us. Really, the only thing that was just we didn't need at the hospital itself was my gown, so I just didn't wear it. I only needed like 1 bra, and I didn't need any panties. Like, if we have another baby, I probably won't be taking those 3 things. But this is what the hospital did give us, or let us use. So they let us borrow the pillow, blankets, towels, bath cloths. They gave us a white short sleeve onesie for Noah to put him in. We couldn't have that. I don't think we used it because we had our own clothes. So we brought for him his little bassinet, and then they have like the old actual bed pads that they used to use back in the day. I know my grandmother used them when she was in the hospital, and they used to give those out when you had a baby too. They only put the babies in that, like that's the padding, and then they gave them like a little hospital newborn towel blanket thing, receiving thing. I got an RMC cup. We got some bed pads, tucks, hydrocortisone cream, Dermaplast, a small Perry bottle, which was only like a little 8-ounce Perry bottle. The only thing I hate about it is it doesn't have a curved neck. But other than that, like, I use that multiple times now. I've used it the whole entire time I had to take my little sitz baths with all that stuff. The whole entire time I was in the hospital, the whole entire time I was in the hotel. Honestly, I used it every single day, multiple times a day, all the way from December 29th through the middle of January. And then that February, I'd started my period. I had like 2 weeks that I did not bleed from my postpartum period, and then my regular periods came back. So, and I use that now. Like, if I'm on my period, I'll still use it, and then I'll wipe or whatever, but I'll make sure I get, like, all the blood clots and the blood and all. I used it in the shower heavily when I was on my postpartum period, and then I still use it sometimes just if I feel like I'm not clean or if I shave just to make sure I get all the hair. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing that they gave us that. They did give us 2 packs of diapers for him to take home, some Vaseline, because we did get him circumcised, and some gauze. They gave us extra bottles and nipples of the little hospital bottles and nipples, the one-time use ones. They gave us cloth wipes to use for, like I said, we used them for burp cloths. Then they gave us a little bedpan. You could use it for anything. That was actually his bath pan. That's what we gave him all his home baths in, so we used that. They gave us baby wash, body wash, and shampoo combined, Dove body wash bar. They did offer us snacks and drinks, and when we came home, they said, look, I know your child's having a stay. Do y'all need any extra snacks, or do you want me to fill up your cup, or do you need, like, to ask Josh if he needed any kind of drink or some gum or something? So they were very nice after they found out that he had to stay. They did give us a passy for Noah. It was the Advent brand. They gave him his little baby sponge. They gave him butt paste. But this was actually what it was. It's just protective barrier, the Sensi Care, and it has 15% of zinc oxide. In case anybody tells you the hospital does not recommend oxide, it had zinc oxide in it. But the nursery did give us this. This is a pretty big tube too. It's 4 ounces, and we have yet to finish it all the way. But yeah, this is the tube they gave us. Most of the stuff looked like Sensi Care brand. Anyways, like all the body wash and all that good stuff. All my products and stuff. So, and then they did, when they came in for his birth certificate, they did end up allowing us to go ahead and choose. Y'all, something is my eye. I'm sorry, but something is in my eye. When they did his birth certificate paperwork, they did give us the chance to go ahead and let them prepare or send off for him his own social security card, and they did. We asked for the copy of the footprints they gave us, and they gave us a bulb syringe and an extra baby hat. So, like, his birth hat that has the blood and all in it, plus our bracelets, the passy that they gave him, and he actually took, and probably mine and my husband's rings will probably go in, like, a little scrapbook of all his little birth stuff, because they did give us another hat. So we just washed that one and just put it on him, like, after we give him baths and stuff. So there's that. And then what I wish I would have packed would be something that didn't have to have the internet. Like, I should have brought a coloring book, a word search. I should have brought some gum, some extra gums. Just something to keep myself busy. Like, I couldn't even play Candy Crush all the way because I kept running out of lives and I didn't have service. So, and I couldn't log into my Facebook thing to play Candy Crush, so it wasn't like I was still on the same level. I didn't have any help, like booster levels or anything like that. So, oh yeah, my phone. I thought I wrote down zoos, but my phone kept going to, like, 2002. Like, it kept saying May something of 2002. Y'all, we was in 2021. I don't know what was happening in that hospital between that hospital and my phone, but it was not yin-yanging at all. And I wish I would have brought Josh an extra pillow because he was a little uncomfortable there, especially in postpartum. Because when I tell y'all, we went from, like, this big of a room for labor and deliveries to, like, this big of a room for postpartum. It was not big. So, I wish I would have brought extra fuzzy blankets, because to me, the rooms were cold. When I was getting induced the whole entire time, I kept asking, "Could I have another blanket?" They kept telling me, "Ma'am, we're short on like linens right now because of pandemic and all that. Do y'all not have any extra?" I was like, "Well, we have one." And they brought me 2 or 3 finally. And my day nurse did. And then I had our fuzzy blanket on top of me, and I was freezing still, like up until I gave birth. And then when I had to start pushing, oh my goodness, y'all. It was not okay, because they just slung the covers off of me and then just started unhooking everything out of me. It was horrible. Like, I went from freezing to like freezing cold now. It was unbearable. It really was. It was unbearable to me, because I think my iron dropped, or shot got into my body, or some adrenaline, way too much adrenaline. I don't know what was going on, but my stats were normal. I was just freezing. Like, I had ran a temperature, and then I was freezing on top of that. So, plus I was pouring sweat. So, I don't know what happened, but my body was not there. And then for push time, it was not okay. It was not okay. But what I overpacked or didn't need was the bottle for the ride home, because they gave us extra bottles. I shouldn't have packed the 2 newborn diapers, because they gave us extra packs of diapers as well. Our passy we packed, he didn't take, so probably the next time I probably won't even take one at all. Then our clothes only stayed on Noah the whole entire time we were there. But like when he had to stay in the hospital, they just kept swaddling him after they changed his diaper. Like, after we would leave, they would take off his clothes and just put it in a drawer, and they would just swaddle him. I guess it was just easier for them, but they didn't really use our clothes like we hoped they would. And then my panties, because they had cloth panties and pads, and then it was just easier with all of their stuff, really. So that's what was packed, and then a general list of what we should also bring. But your essentials that everybody should need is an ID or your driver's license, any insurance cards, and hospital paperwork that you filled out, or any kind of insurance paperwork. Goodness gracious. You don't know how many times I try to say medical paperwork. But any kind of official document, paperwork, any of that, you need to have it with you if it's concerning your hospital stay and all that. Your birth plan, if you created one. I created one, but as you could tell, mine went down south. They didn't even use mine because I had to get induced. So I didn't even get to go natural either, because my night nurse, kept like saying, "Do you want me to go get epidural?" Like, I will, because you're just being too much, basically. Like, I can't deal with you. And this was like, we were first time parents. She kept getting the attitude. We did not like her. We didn't. So I was so thankful to have my morning nurse, and especially for her to be there for the labor, because I could not imagine my night nurse being there with us during labor. I'm so thankful that he waited as long as he did, because it would have been horrible. It just would have been horrible. I might have actually had to punch somebody. But my birth plan did not go at all like I wanted to. You would want like some kind of little tote. Like, we used a reusable bag for all the hospital supplies, or you could use their bags. Since we ended up having to get a motel on top of our actual hospital stay, all the bags just came in handy for dirty clothes, extra trash bags for the motel, because we stayed in the Red Roof Inn, which service was great. And we went in there and we told them that we were having to stay because our son had to stay in the hospital. They were understanding. We got a king size room. It was smoking, but we just asked whatever was cheapest, and they gave us the cheaper price. The owner was in there, and he just went ahead and gave us the cheaper price. So they were nice people, but the cleaning crew was like horrible. Like I asked for extra trash bags and they just looked at me. They were Indians. No hate towards them. I mean, they gotta work too. I know that. But they just looked at me like I was stupid, like I did not need nothing. But I know I did because I had pads and I told them, I was like, I need a pair of gloves because I'm going to take out this trash because I have been bleeding. I have a postpartum period going on now. And they just looked at me like, what? What? Okay, yeah, we got it. And so my husband, he just got tired of us going back and forth. And he just became the greatest man that he is. He just went ahead and without gloves just went ahead and got all the trash together and just took it outside for them. And we still didn't get no extra trash bags, but it was a moment for my husband. And then you will also need your car seat. They do walk your baby out to make sure that you have your car seat strapped in and make sure it's suitable for them. You don't have to bring it into the hospital with you. Some people do. Since ours had to stay, I would say that it would be usable to bring in from like your postpartum. But I don't know, if you just want to go ahead and get all your stuff for as you're heading in from labor and delivery, that might be the easiest route for you to go. But either which way, you have to stay so many nights, like 3 days and 3 nights, or three. You have to stay at least 3 something. I think it's 3 days. Because they just went ahead and told me that morning that I was good to go, but no, I had to stay. So, I think you just have to stay 3 days or until you're completely up and good walking around. You can't overstay unless something was happening. But, so, that's what we brought. That's what happened and all that good stuff. So, I'm sorry this is like almost a 40-minute video just for me to go over like what to bring for their hospital bag, but maybe you got some goodness out of this. Maybe this is a video for you. I don't know. But until next time, bye you guys.